Let's get a quick view to the flight entry window. It's accessed from the main menu and the flight entry option. Flight entry window is divided into two bits. The upper bit is to decide which are the flights in the lower part of the window. In here we can decide to show the last 10 flights, or the flights in between two dates, or in case you have the planning option, the planned flights still to be entered. After deciding which flights, we can also filter by aircraft. For example, let's refresh, and here we have all the last 10 flights of ECPPL aircraft. Okay, let's refresh again. In the lower bit, there's one record for each flight. Here we have the plate for the aircraft, the departure date, the chock time at departure, the takeoff time, landing time, and the chock time at arrival. Also the flight time, which is defined by the administrator. In this case, the administrator has chosen three values: the particular, air route, or entreno. The school type of flight is always defined by default. The airports, departure, arrival. The crew, this is the pilot 1. In here we have only the alias for the pilot. When we unfold the list, we have the complete name of all active pilots of the club. Because we have chosen the flight instructor as second pilot, in here we have only the 4 instructors at the club at this moment. We have the number of landings for this flight, the hops meter, the rate applicable to this flight, in this case is the standard, and this list box is to assign who is going to pay for the flight. Usually is the pilot 1, but the cost of the flight can be also charged to only the side pilot or both pilots. This is why we have another type of functionality in the second pilot, which is the side pilot. Side pilot is never going to certify hours for this flight, but instead it's mean to charge the amount of the flight to the second pilot in the whole or in part. This is the flight time, which is calculated as the difference in between chock times at departure and arrival, and a calculation is made by choosing the rate and the flight time. In this case, the rate is 120 per hour, so the total amount is 140. In here we have some space to add some text associated to this flight, and also 5 buttons to add additional information, for example for fuel. In this list we have the usual units for fuel, usual units for oil, and in here we add the number of liters and the rate, the price for each liter, same for oil. The calculation of this, the multiplication of amount and rate, it's charged to the account for this aircraft. Scopes are listed here, and they will be considered when this aircraft is taken for check in the periodic check. Next button is for expenses. Here we have an expense type list, which is also defined by the administrator, a space to enter a document number, usually the invoice number, some other identificator, description, and the amount paid for this expense. Passengers. Here we have space to add the complete list of passengers identified by their names and some ID like passport or some other ID. And also we can associate some snapshots to the flight. We get to the Explorer and, for example, we select this one, and this snapshot is always then from now on associated to this flight. I'm going to delete it. Well, anyone can modify the flights, enter flights, as long as he or she has the privileges given by the administrator to do that. Okay, let's go to enter a flight from scratch. Just a matter of pressing this button and a new record for a new flight appears at the top, where we have some default values already entered for aircraft, for example, and flight type. These values are decided here. If you don't want to use these default values, you can simply delete them by pressing the delete key, and from now on the operator has to decide on the aircraft for each new flight entered. Okay, these are the chock times. Let's enter some time here, for example 10. I'm not typing the column here, it's not necessary. The takeoff time is set equal to the chock time for departure, unless we modify it by pressing, for example, the up arrow key. Same for the chock time arrival. Let's say it's 11:15, and now I'm using the down arrow at here. Right. Here we already have the default values for the airports. Here we have some warning about missing pilot. Let's fill it in. RBM, for example, and that's it. No, there's still some missing hubs time. Okay, we can type it by hand in this cell, or we can use this button that helps on calculating the hubs meter value out of the previous hubs meter value for this aircraft in the previous flight. Let's do it. Okay, now everything is right. All we have to do is press the save button to save the flight. Depending on the aircraft, we have also this extended part, which serves to enter the day flight time, the night flight time, the IFR flight time, and the landings performed at night, the fuel and oil at the end of the flight, and one tachometer value for each engine. Well, that's it for the flight entry. Thank you for your attention.